What if Goku and Vegeta was sent to Earth Part 2? As a year would pass, Earth was finally at peace. Now a lot of guys are been asking, well, what about Namek? What about everything else? Well, after the events of Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, and everybody else would use the Namekian Dragon Balls to wish everybody back to life that Frieza killed, and repair any damage that the Namekian planet has had. But, back to the main thing. But now, as we last took off, Cooler was looking for revenge. Now, it's been over a year since the events of Frieza has happened, and Cooler, he's finally arrived. But now his spaceship would land, and it was none other than Cooler himself, who was with his squad. Now, most of the events would happen the same. This is kind of mixing in with the Cooler movie, The Revenge of Cooler. So Goku took the Z-Gang camping to have some fun, and enjoy some peace as Earth was peaceful right now. Now, mostly everybody came other than Vegeta, as Vegeta was actually off-planet training. That's the usual for Vegeta. But now, Goku was with Gohan. Now, very similar, they noticed that something was wrong, as then Cooler's men would start attacking them. And then Cooler actually attacked Goku and actually damaged his back. And Goku had to be kept and hidden in a cave until they can get a senzu bean to bring him back. All that happens the exact same. And yes, Piccolo still does fight most of the men and absolutely demolishes them. This Piccolo is even more powerful. And now in this What If as well, Piccolo is actually able to fight Cooler a little bit. This version of Piccolo is way more powerful than the original in the movie. Way more powerful. I think that he would be able to box with Cooler for a little while. Now this is 4th form Cooler, not 5th form at all. But as we all know, it won't be enough because Cooler can just raise his battle power even higher and higher and higher, as he is similar strength to Frieza. Now Piccolo's not there yet, but hopefully he will be soon. But now Goku got healed and he was ready to fight Cooler. Now Goku thinks that Cooler was actually Frieza, but of course Cooler quickly shuts that up and he's like, no, I'm his brother, his older brother, and I'm the strongest, which of course they always say, and I'm not my brother. But I honestly don't care that you killed him. The only thing that annoys me is that a Saiyan did it, and it just stained my family's reputation and honor. That is the only reason why I'm here. And Frieza obviously cannot do his job, so I'm going to end the Saiyans myself. That is what I'm here for, not for Frieza. Because Cooler doesn't care about Frieza, they don't care about each other, he just cares about the image that their family has, because it's just business. But now, Goku here, when he battles 4th form Cooler, is way stronger than he was in the original movie. And he's way stronger than he was in the Frieza saga in the original as well. Way more powerful. Cooler would actually have a bit of a hard time with Goku. I would say they're, getting near even until Cooler would then go into his 5th form. This would shock everybody, as Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, and Goku would all battle Cooler, working together, trying to figure out a plan to take this monster down. But it was not enough to defeat him. Cooler was way too powerful. I mean, they tried everything they can. It wasn't enough. Even Gohan, who's not even a slouch, he's been training a lot recently, he can't even touch Cooler, even though he's still a kid. But Gohan's not a slouch either. Piccolo's not a slouch. He couldn't even mess with Cooler. Goku, in his Ikari state, would then stare down Cooler, and this is when the fight would get a bit more interesting. As I would say that Goku, and I'm adding in Vegeta as well, both their power levels are around the same, being around 20 million. So I would say around 20 million, as in the What If prior, it was around 16 million. So I would say after a Zenkai, a year of some training, I would say around 20 million. So adding 10 times, that's around 200 million in Goku's Ikari state. Now this battle will actually be pretty good. Goku would actually do pretty well-ish against Cooler. He would do a lot better than he did originally than he is now. Now Goku over the year has been able to learn to control the Ikari state, but he still struggles with it a little bit. So he's kind of like a bit more primal-like. Like, how Super Saiyan 4 made Goku a little bit more, bloodlusting battle and a bit more brutal, because that's just what it does. It's like as the Saiyan forms get higher, you get more and more brutal. Like with Super Saiyan 1, 2, especially 3 makes you different, and then Super Saiyan 4 especially does, which I think is pretty interesting that they did that way. But now Goku will be trading blows back and forth with Cooler, but Cooler obviously had the upper hand. Cooler was holding back as well, As Cooler thinks, so this is the Super Saiyan that defeated my brother? This is laughable. Now, I would say that Cooler is in the 500s, the 500 million range, even though that does sound high, but I'm just putting him there just for what it purposes. So Goku's kind of close, but not really close enough to touch Cooler, sadly. But then Goku would be beaten down into his base form as he laid there, but before Cooler could take him out, Vegeta would save the day. As Vegeta, yes, sensed that Cooler was coming, as he sensed a high dark power on the way to the planet, he hopped in his ship and was right behind Cooler. Remember, Cooler and all them cannot sense energy, and Vegeta was far enough away to where he would not be detected by scanners. So Vegeta would have his arms crossed in his usual Saiyan pride fashion, and Vegeta said, "You're not taking anyone down around here, you're going to fight me." And Vegeta would go into his Ikari state. Now Cooler thinks, oh, he can go Super Saiyan as well, this is fun. Goku would go into his Ikari state, and both of them would fight Cooler together. Now together, they would have a combined power of 400 million or so. Goku's probably a little bit weaker because he's injured, but that would do a lot more better against Cooler. Since Goku and Vegeta have been training ever since they were really little kids, they know how each other fights, and they can fight really well together. And they fight in sync. As Whis even stated in Dragon Ball Super, if Goku and Vegeta really teamed up together and even fought the likes of Beerus, you could actually give Beerus a little bit of a battle. You can actually really push Beerus a little bit. But obviously their characters just are like yin and yang. They don't ever want to work together. They're more of a solo fighter. But Goku and Vegeta knows in this scenario that they are closer as they're like brothers, and on top of that, they know how powerful Cooler is, and they do not have a choice. If they don't work together, Cooler's going to kill everybody and destroy the planet. And that's not going to happen. So they would try everything, as Goku has an idea. He thinks, why don't we combine both of our attacks together and we can do a surprise attack? As Krillin was still awake, Krillin says, yeah, I can do my solar flare ability, and I can blind them just in time, and you can fire a full power attack. That has to damage him enough, or possibly kill him. Now, they actually planned it up, as Cooler was standing there saying, are you finished with your grand scheme? As everybody would nod, they would get to work. Piccolo would wrap his arm around Cooler to try and hold him back, and then go on to fire some key blasts at Cooler, which wouldn't really do too much. And then Krillin would then do a legendary solar flare. That would actually blind Cooler, who would grab his eyes as he would rip out of Piccolo's arms, and actually damage his arm, but he would grab his eyes, think, my eyes. But Goku and Vegeta was ready, as Vegeta charged up a massive gout gun, and Goku charged up a full power Kamehameha. They would put their hands all together, and they would fire a full key blast attack. You can call it the Gallic Kamehameha, or whatever you want to call it. And it would hit Cooler full force, and then it was a massive explosion. As the dust would settle, they don't see Cooler around here, as they would bend, pant, and go to base form, as they used every ounce of their energy. As they think that it's all over, they don't sense his energy right now. Until Cooler would then appear. He would actually have some little bit of scratches on him, and he would actually be bleeding from his mouth a little bit, as he would actually spit on the floor, and the mask would then, go back on his face, and he'd be like, that was a really impressive attack, but did you really think that was enough to take me down? As Cooler thinks, I really thank you for warming me up. Now I'm really going to get ready. As then Cooler would put the beat down on both Goku and Vegeta, beating them down into submission, torturing them almost, similar to what Broly did in the movie, as Cooler wants them to suffer for what they did. And to even make him bleed really sends him over the edge. He was just going to kill him and that's it. Now he wants him to suffer. But now, both of them, he would kick Vegeta into the rock pillar, as Vegeta doesn't know what to do. Goku doesn't know what to do as well, as Goku tries going into their Ikari state, but it doesn't work, as they don't have enough energy. But he was not going to get up. As he kept trying to attack Cooler, it did nothing to him. As he would keep beating down on Goku, a lot like, well, we already know, Goku ran out of options. He fell, as he was on his knees. Now Cooler wants Goku to really suffer, since this is not the end. Cooler would then aim his death beams, as he would blast Gohan and Piccolo, nearly killing them as they lay there in smoke, badly damaged. And then he would start torturing Vegeta, breaking his arm, sorry Android 18, and making him scream in agony, as Goku snapped. He would scream as giant beams of lightning energy would crash all around him. It would hit him, As his hair rises and flickers, Goku would transform into the Super Saiyan of legend. Goku has now become a Super Saiyan, and his golden aura would then surround his body. As he was seething in anger, he would glare at Cooler with death in his eyes. Now, everybody was shocked seeing this, mainly Vegeta, because the other guys are knocked out. But Vegeta and Krillin were staring in shock, as Vegeta was like, "Is that a Super Saiyan?" As Vegeta thinks that the Ikari state was a Super Saiyan, but maybe he thinks this has to be the next level. As Cooler would laugh, saying, "Finally, there's the Super Saiyan. I was waiting for you to come out. I have been wanting to see one ever since I heard about it, as it's been a legend for thousands of years." But Goku would not be hearing any of it. Goku would kind of manhandle him, very similar to what he did in the Cooler movie, The Revenge of Cooler. Cooler doesn't have any chance. As he would try to attack Goku, it would do nothing to him. As Goku would just grab his hand, saying, "Look around. You're hurting people. What have they done to you? I cannot allow you to just hurt innocent people and allow you to get joy out of hurting." As Goku would state, "You are just like your brother. You enjoy hurting people, and you get joy out of being over them in power. Well, this is not going to happen. As I am the light in the darkness, I am the good that will tackle all evil. I am Son Goku, a Super Saiyan, or an ally to good, or a nightmare to you." And then he would gut punch Cooler, making him spit blood, and then he would deliver a blow right to his face, shattering the mask that was protecting his mouth. As Cooler was running out of options, in really bad haste, he would then form a supernova, which, remember, he can do a lot more faster than his brother could. He would then throw the attack down, as a very similar scene happens when Goku catches it and would scream as he would use his own blast to push the supernova right into Cooler, as it would blast Cooler right towards the sun and hit Cooler in the sun. And now Cooler would then remember that back when the two space pods were leaving with Goku and Vegeta, as Frieza must have missed it, he says, "Let them go. They're not going to be a problem." As Cooler reverts back to base and the sun burning alive, he says, "I could have never had this happen. I could have killed them." And then Cooler would burn to death. He was disintegrated. As Goku would look at his hands, he would then collapse, reverting to base form, falling to the ground. As Krillin would luckily have some sensu beans left over that Korn would give to him, he would heal everybody up, and everybody was okay. But now Vegeta asked Goku, "How did you turn into a Super Saiyan? How did you do it?" Goku doesn't even know how he did it. He didn't even know what happened. It was just a blur to him. But he's really glad that he did, he guessed, because if it wasn't for that Super Saiyan power, he would not have been able to defeat Cooler. But now Goku has a new obstacle to look to. He really wants to learn how to control that form, so he can get into it himself. And as for Vegeta, Vegeta now has a new drive to want to get that form more than anything. But now the Z Fighters would go back to the family. And obviously Chi-Chi would attack Goku, and Bulma would be attacking Vegeta, saying, "Oh, you guys are idiots, you could have gotten yourself killed," and everything else, the usual goofy stuff. But they were all happy as they all had a nice feast, and everything was at peace for now. As in a lab, somewhere, far away, there was a scientist who was laughing maniacally, saying that the androids will soon be complete. And, nearby as well, a time ship will be landing, and a young man with a sword will be walking out to find Son Goku. And that is it for this What If, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading as much. As y'all may notice, I've only uploaded once every 4 days or so for the past 2 videos. And I have a good explanation as to why. The main reason why is because where my job is right now, they have me working 6 days straight without a day off. So I have really not had time to do YouTube. Because when I get home, I would have to pass out and then wake up. As it was also having me get to work even more early, so I would have to go to bed earlier. So I would pretty much get off at 11 at night, and then have to be at bed at 12 or 1. And obviously I have other things to do, such as chores and everything else to keep my apartment clean. So that's the reason why that's not going to be happening. So don't think that I'm getting burned out and I don't want to do videos no more. Oh, and now we're going to go to 5 days in a week and then a month. No, that's not going to happen. It is going to go back to 3 days. And if my YouTube really starts doing really well, then it is going to spike up and go to 2 days. And possibly, if it becomes full time, I might do 1 day. But we'll see. We're not there yet. Thank you guys all for the support. We're getting close to 8,000. We're getting only 2,000 away then to 10,000. We can do it. Thank you guys so much for the support. Post your comments down below. Let me know what other what ifs you guys want me to do. And what do you guys think about this what if series so far? And I will talk to you all on the next one.